Alright, good morning guys. It's Thursday the 23rd of February. Darren made a video for me last night. I've been having paint gun problems, and I'll show you my last spray out on my test panel here. This is a result of 3 coats of Limco 4100 medium solids clear. There's some solvent pops in it because I hammered the hell out of it, but I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up very well. There's not a lot of peel in this, but seeming to think that maybe there's something stuck in my fluid tip or the air holes plugged in my cup. I use the disposable cups usually, and I decided to do a test on this one using the regular cup. The hole in the lid is not plugged. I've had this gun apart several times, and I just don't like having to flood the hell out of it. This was a slow process to get this much clear on there. There's a ton of clear on it. I did this yesterday, and I can still stick my fingernail in it. It's so thick. Let's see if we can see anything over here. I mean, it looks, glossy and not real peely, but it took a lot of clear on this. There's probably, it's a 4-to-1 clear, and I probably mixed it up to the 6 or 7 mark on the cup, so that's a lot of clear for half of a Prius hood. But it didn't run. I flooded it right off there, so maybe it's just a figment of my imagination. Maybe I just need to be shooting with a bigger tip. But I did tear the gun apart again, just in case. Sometimes you overlook things. So I can't see anything in the fluid tip. I'm soaking it again, and I'll do one more test today. I have ordered a new gun. I don't like the speed of this gun. It's too slow when you're clearing something. But here's my fluid tip. Get a flashlight on that so we can see what's what inside there. I don't know that I can do this. There, it focused. It's really clean inside there. I am like super anal about keeping my gun clean, but you can always miss something when you're just flushing it with solvent. You're not spraying it out or putting it in a gun washer to clean that tip with pressurized fluid. So I'm gonna scrub that a little bit more. The tools of my trade here, there's a dabber, and then a brush there, and here's the fluid needle. I mean, the fluid needle is beautiful. There's nothing on that. It's got a shiny spot on it right there, from where it contacts the fluid tip. It might be getting worn, but I won't say this thing laid clear super slick before. I mean, it would put factory peel back in it. It just seems like I'm having to slow way down to get anything done. So we're going to work on this, and thanks for the input, Darren. I appreciate it, brother. I'm going to soak this dude up some more, but the air cap, I mean, I ran a piece of thin wire through my atomization holes there. The air horns are clear. I mean, when you spray out a test pattern, we'll go and look at my test patterns if I didn't rip the paper down. Yeah, that's just a mess. You can't see anything on there. But anyway, it was leaving about, a 12-inch pattern on the paper, about an inch wide. It seemed like it was a little heavy in the middle, and I tried to tune that out of it, which I was pretty much able to do. It's a little fatter in the middle than on the ends, and it seemed to be wet all the way to the end. So that was running the gun about 2 turns out on that 1-3 tip. So I am going to horse around with it some more. Like I said, I ordered a plus, so we're going to see if I like the speed of that gun a little better. This thing sprays base fine, and it will spray clear good, but just not the way I want it. Darren, I know you said this was your favorite gun, and I was wondering if you had the HVLP version or the RP version. You didn't mention that, but I was just curious on that because I know a lot of guys love the Sata RP for clear because it's just it just blows it out. So I may have made a goof when I bought this gun with the 1.3 tip because I'm not shooting low solids material, and I tried running the gun at a little higher than 29 psi, which is max on this gun, and it just doesn't seem to throw it down like I think it should. So I'm going to work on this fluid tip, and we're going to give her a try here in a little bit. Alright guys, you can see it's a little foggy behind me here. I tore this gun apart one last time, like Darren said. You know, I kind of go through the motions and tear things apart and make sure everything's as perfect as I think it can be, but it never hurts to do it one last time. And I found out a couple things. It wasn't really dirty, but I found out how the gun comes apart and goes back together, so that was nice. Here's what I came up with. Back up. There's a spray out pattern. Okay, I was trying to spray this gun at about 8 inches. I started screwing around. I got the gun tuned where I thought it would be where I wanted it. Fluid needle all the way open, then back in just a touch, just till it caught the trigger and pushed it in a tiny bit, probably not even 1/8 of a turn. This clear in this gun, I got my pressure set about 23 to 25. It fluctuates a tiny bit, but as you can see around there where it's wet all the way down and it's dry or moderate, where it's soaked into the paper, you know, like 1 inch away. That seems about normal for me. I'm just starting to get a little dripper there, but I may have held the trigger too long. So we'll try one more. See if I can, hold on a second guys. Okay, focus and on, off. Okay. Good pattern. We'll see if that one decides to start running away. Like I said, I was trying to put this thing at about 8 inches, and I brought my hand in a little closer on these, and I'm still getting a good pattern. That's probably maybe, I don't know, 8-10 inches. It may just be what my technique is, you know. Everybody's a little bit different. Every gun's a little bit different. But I'm going to set the gun down for a second here. Hold on. And we'll go over and take a look at the hood. I had it setting flat when I painted it, and then immediately after I put my second coat on it, I pulled it and stood it vertical to make sure I didn't have so much material on there that it was going to be on the floor. And it's right where I want it to be. It could use a little less peel, and it's still a little bit slower process than what I would like, so I really do want to get a compliant gun, something that's going to break it up just a little bit better. But this will match factory Ford, GM, or Chrysler, especially. It's probably better than Chrysler, some of the ones I've seen, but I've also seen some Fords that are pretty peely too. This will fly. But irregardless, I want to dedicate one gun to clear, one gun to base. I have plenty of other guns to shoot single stage and primer through. So I had shot sealer through that gun before, and it spray sealered great, but at any rate. So that's what I came up with. We'll go back and see if that shit's running off on the fucking floor here on my test spray out. That looks good to me. Nice and wet. That first one I got a little carried away, but it's obviously not running off the panel, and I have not cut my material flow back. Let's see how wide that pattern is. We'll grab a tape measure here. And then I'm kind of happy about that now. So maybe we'll do a what's in my toolbox day since there's nothing else going on. That's looking like from top to bottom, maybe 9. Depends on how I'm spraying it. It might be 10, but I can live with a pattern like that. So we'll put this back, and we'll fire up the camera here in a minute and bore the shit out of you guys with the what's in my toolbox video. I don't know if I did one of those. I showed a couple of my tools to answer some questions before, but I'm fucking bored and there's nothing going on. Like I said, I got nothing coming till next week. So yeah, right, some more random stuff while I'm waiting for that hood to tack up, and so I can get the fog out of here and shut my fan off. Had a freebie gun that was given to me a long time ago. It's a Sharp Titanium T1. I don't know how old this gun is. It might be 10 years old, might be 5 years old, and it's probably more than 5 years old. But one of my buddies let one of his pals borrow it, and long story short, he left whatever the hell he was spraying in it overnight and cleaned it. You know, it looked clean when he gave it back to him, and the damn thing was not spraying right. So the guy that owned the gun got pissed off. He gave it to me to give a try out and see if I could get it working. I mean, he does a lot of painting, and it was an older gun for him, and he had already replaced it. So he said, here, give it a shot. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these Sharps inside before. Most guns have a single fluid passage. You look at this one. Let me get a flashlight here since the dungeon lights aren't real bright. There's 2 fluid passages, and the one on the left, I've already sort of cleaned it out. It was fucking plugged solid with shit, so we only had 1 fluid passage open. Now this gun has a 1/4 tip. It was not enough to feed the gun. When I first got it, it was fluttering bubbling in the cup. So we solved that problem. But holy shit, guys! I mean, you got to look at this thing. This thing is foobarred. It's going to take a lot of soaking, and even then, I don't know if I can get it. Let's get under the light here. Oh yeah, there we go. There's paint all around the packing needle, or the packing in there for the fluid needle. When I shoved the cleaner in through the top of the body of the gun, through the fluid passages, shit was falling down into this area where the oh god, I'm having a terrible time here talking this morning, where the fluid tip goes in. Garbage all inside there, and I'll reach in the bucket of goodies here and I'll pull out that fluid tip, and you can tell me why this gun didn't spray. This is not the gun I've been fighting, guys. This one's been sitting in the cabinet. I was bored and decided to take this one apart for something to do. Darren kind of got me in the mood to start tearing some shit apart that I haven't been using. Unless there's some sort of funky insert in this, which I think there is. That looks like epoxy primer, or let's get into the light. She's a little dickered up, so can't really see all the way down in that bad boy. But at any rate, I mean, this gun's fucked up, so we're gonna scrub it up. We're gonna soak the shit out of this stuff. I got everything in there. I mean, obviously that's not gonna hinder performance, but the air cap was clean. That was about the only thing that was clean on this gun. So, alright, we'll get back with you in a couple.